You're listening to the Late Night Football Show with your host, Rohit Singh. That's me. On this show, we talk about some of the most seriously silly topics from the world of football for your entertainment and enjoyment. Please remember that the show is BYOL. Bring your own laughs, since we don't have the budget for a studio audience. Happy listening. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Late Night Football. We had another weekend of Premier League action, some very big games today, and we're here with Gaurav and Kevin to do the match reactions for those games. So, Gaurav, welcome to the show. First time for you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on the show, Rohit.
Yes, absolutely. It's always great to have City fans because there's so few of you. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Kevin, welcome back to the show. We are once again back after the preview show. So welcome back.
Hi.
Yeah. I can have the predictions. I think you got both the predictions wrong, right?
I got it right. I mean,
right?
Almost right. I said 3-1. But
it was 4-1. Okay, well you got 4 goals.
4-0, right?
Yeah, it was 4-0 to Chelsea.
Yeah.
So you got the number of goals right, but the
yeah.
wrong. Okay, it's been a good weekend actually of games. So let's get into it. Let's start with the Chelsea game. That was the first one. And interesting game. Kevin, were you surprised that Jorginho started ahead of Kovacic?
No, I was actually not, because Jorginho always takes he's the penalty taker. So I believe that he has to be there because Frank Lampard relies a lot on him. So and I believe that Jorginho was good defensively compared to Kovacic, and he was a CDM along with Kante. And the formation also has been. I think that this will be the permanent formation, 4-2-3-1. So along with Kante, there was no surprise that Jorginho started.
Okay. Yeah. Gaurav, Mendy started. No surprises there. But do you now see, is there a way back for Kepa now to be number one? Or do you think that's it?
No. That's not going to happen. He'll be most probably. All the mistakes that he's done in the last year or so, don't think there's no chance of him being the number one choice at Chelsea.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs. But he's still the most expensive goalkeeper in the world, isn't he? So yeah.
Yes.
But maybe it's a good thing. Maybe now he can focus on being a full-time manager too. So because something.
Yeah, and he's not really young as well, right? He's 26 or 27.
Yeah. Well, in goalkeeper terms, he's still young, but yeah.
Yeah, he's still young. He still has age on his side to improve, but from what I've seen on him, I don't think he's going to succeed at Chelsea.
Yeah, no, it's just looking like not happening. The first half actually, so the final score was 4-0, and a lot of people might think that this was a blowout, but it actually wasn't. The first half was pretty poor for Chelsea. But Kevin, what do you think made that difference in the second half for them to come out all guns blazing? What do you think was the difference?
It's probably the Lampard pep talk. I think it's
no pun intended.
It was the same against West Brom. We were 3-0 down, and then after halftime it was all attack. We found their mistakes in their defense, and then we just got through. And so it's probably the halftime talk or whatever.
This was Chilwell's first start, I think, in the Premier League, right? He scored the first goal. He got an assist. There might be question marks about a defense, but Chelsea have got a good left back, haven't they? It is offensive. They seem to have got a good left back.
It's a great replacement for Alonso, I believe. So Alonso will be the backup, and Chilwell was just too good, and he's young.
Yeah. Gaurav, I know City are having some issues with left back, but 50 million pounds. It's still early days, but they seem to have got something, right? There is a player there.
Yeah, he's definitely good, but I still question his defensive abilities. The last season when he played Leicester, Amares almost tore him a new one. He gave problem on every chance. So he's still good. He's good offensively, but still question marks on his defensive abilities.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but it was a good goal. Kevin, two penalties. Do you think both of them were legit? Legitimate penalties? Do you think there was any doubts on
Mm,
anyone? I thought they were perfectly fine penalties.
yeah, even I thought they were fine, but when I saw the second penalty, the tackle on Itemi,
Havertz.
Havertz was
The second
the
one
sec.
was yeah, the second one was Havertz. The first one was Tammy. The second one was Havertz.
Oh, so the Temi one, I felt that it was a bit too awkward. But then when I saw the replay, I was like, okay, well, maybe it must be the not totally the it was 50-50 then. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. Did Aspilicueta basically Bruno Fernandes, Jorginho, like basically telling him to take the penalties? Like he took the ball from Tammy and gave it to Jorginho. Like
That
is
was
Jorginho?
that was amazing leadership, I think. And I don't know why, but Temi was very furious. But it was like I believe that if there's one penalty taker, I like they shouldn't change, and Temi should have understood. So it was great leadership from Espilicueta to take the ball and then make him understand. But I saw Temi was very furious still. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah,
So but it was
Gaurav,
great.
yeah. Kevin is a Chelsea fan, so we'll ask you because you're an opposition fan. Since maybe you might stir the pot a little bit. Uh, so first thing, 3-0 up. Should they have just given it to Tammy? Like let the striker have a goal? Do you think that was the right decision to
No,
take it off Tammy
no,
and
no.
give it?
Yes, I think that was the right decision. Like Jorginho is their first choice penalty taker. Like they takes all the penalties. So I think it was the right decision. Like
Yeah. Well,
Tammy
he took
shouldn't have
one
been
already.
furious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like he's their designated penalty like taker, right? So I don't find any reason to be furious at that.
Yeah. And
By
well,
right logic, you
yeah,
can also say that Werner should have also taken the penalty, right? Was he on the pitch at that time?
Yeah, I was.
he was. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I think if rather than Tammy, it should have been Werner. If he could have gotten some confidence, right? He hasn't scored that many goals since signing for Chelsea.
Yeah.
But I think it was the right decision. Jorginho should have taken that penalty, and he did.
Yeah, and if he would have given it to Temi, it wouldn't have been fair for Werner as well.
Oh, yeah, opinion on that. Yeah, he was a little bit upset though towards after the penalty was taken. Tammy was a bit
Yeah.
upset, but hopefully they take him aside and talk to him because yeah, it's probably not the best attitude. And then finally, I think the biggest talking point of this match for me is that the Chelsea kept a clean sheet because I think that's something that's hard to come by. I mean, beyond the fact that they scored 4 goals, I think keeping a clean sheet. How important is that going to be for confidence, Gaurav? Do you think defensively keeping a clean sheet? How important do you think that's going to be? The clean sheet, keeping a clean sheet.
I think it's very important. And like this season, they have been like very few clean sheets, right? Like most of the games
Mm-hmm.
have ended 2-1, 2-3, or like that. So and they had like Zaha and all. They weren't completely that team. So I think it was a good result at the end for Chelsea. Like
Mm-hmm.
clean sheet is always a bonus.
Yeah, for sure. And they seem to have, well, I mean, maybe now they will have some stability now that they have a consistent back four.
Yeah.
Kevin, who's your man of the match for you?
Uh, for me, it was uh, it's difficult because they were good defensively as well and offensively. So
Chilwell maybe.
Zoma for me. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, Chilwell or Zoma. So I'll go
Chilwell,
with Chilwell. Sorry. Yeah,
Chilwell. Yeah,
yeah,
that's totally fine. Yeah, Chilwell. Yeah, I think a goal and an assist, not bad, not bad at all
yeah.
to give him the man of the match. That's great, awesome, that's wonderful, and it's good when you have to choose a man of the match. That is always it can be good or it can be bad when you have too many people to choose from to get a man of the match, or if you or in some cases when you have to struggle to pick a man of the match, that's not good. But that's a
Yeah,
good problem to have. It's a good problem
sometimes
to have
it's
in
always
Yeah,
every.
with like the one who scores the most assists or goals. But then it's like remember that season when Matic was there and we won the cup. Most of the time Matic didn't score or assist, but still for me he was the man of the match.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Like that.
That's great. Awesome. So yeah, this one is very smooth because whenever a big club wins and it's always easy and smooth sailing. That's Chelsea. So we're not having a lot of debate like, oh yeah, okay, well they won the game, so that's good. Before we move to the final game, a big game, the other one, the City game. Let's talk about Everton against uh, Brighton. That was an important game. Actually, before we come to that, let's talk I have one question about Crystal Palace. Gaurav, Wilfred Zaha, he seemed very frustrated as the game wore
Yeah.
on. I mean, he must be thinking, what do I need to do to get out of Crystal Palace, mustn't he? Like, I mean, there's nobody's coming in. The clubs that need a right winger, they're not going for him. But it's just, I mean, what do you think is his mental state right now?
I like, you know, United need a right-sided winger. Like, but apart from them, who else needs a right-sided winger? Like Chelsea don't need one. I don't think so. They got JH. Neither does City
Yeah,
or
well, Liverpool
Arsenal has
needed
got
one.
Willian. Yeah, and they got Jota, who's
Yeah,
like
was
more
cheaper.
consistent than him.
Yeah,
And there has been an attitude or issues with Zaha late the past. Like he's not really consistent, and sometimes you can see that he doesn't give 100% on the pitch. So he might feel frustrated, but I don't see any club making a move from him right now.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
I
not
don't think he's
possible.
gonna. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna move. But yeah, it must be troublesome. There for 2 years, he's been trying to get out of the club, but they keep pricing him out of the move. So that's sad. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's talk about Everton against Brighton, and we're not going to go too deep into this game. But what I did want to 4-1 victory, brilliant play, and I mean, Kevin, is it now time? I mean, it's been 4 games in, 4 out of 4. It's a sad state of affairs to think that Everton and Leicester are probably going to be Liverpool's closest challengers this season, the way things are going. But they seem to have some bases. Like they're a bit defensively suspect, but that most teams in the league, I think, unless you're Liverpool, every other team is defensively suspect. So they do have some things going for them, don't they? Like they seem to be quietly like they're going to be top 4 contenders, aren't they?
Pretty sure. Yeah. Now that they got it against Brighton and Hove as well. Let's see. Maybe the next 2 or 3 games. What are their fixtures?
They've
Maybe
got
their
Liverpool
fixture.
next. Next is
That
Liverpool.
that's
So
definitely gonna be the answer then.
yeah, I think God of that will be the test, right? If they can get a good,
Yeah.
maybe not a win, but if they can get a good result, a good performance against Liverpool, we have to start taking them seriously for the top 4 race, right?
Yes, you can. I mean, like they've played really well, and Ancelotti in the past has a record. Like he doesn't do well in the league games, but is master of the cups. Like he does really well in Champions League, and also he has the same issue as of Klopp. Like he doesn't like to rotate the team that much, and fixtures are going to becoming really thick and fast this season. So maybe a couple of injuries and they will drop off. But at the moment, they look like a real deal
Yeah.
and might challenge Liverpool for the title if they keep playing like this. I
Yeah.
hope they do.
Yeah. Well, the benefit for Everton is they will have 38 games. I think they don't have any European commitments.
Yeah.
And they can I think they'll probably if they're still in the race in December, they'll throw away the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. I don't think they'll care too much about that. I don't think anybody cares too much about that. So they do have that advantage where they could play the same team for 38 games if they wanted to.
But
we'll
they
see.
don't have the squad depth, do they? Like if like Rodriguez gets injured, who comes in? Sigurdsson maybe.
Yeah,
And like
they have in some
Bowie.
areas, but not everywhere. Yeah, that
Yeah.
might be an issue. But so far, so good for Everton. Just keep grabbing those points. I think.
Yeah,
that's
I
been
hope
my
they do
focus
at least
this
in the next game.
Yeah, for sure. I think that would be a good Merseyside derby, wouldn't it? All right, let's talk about City against Leeds. I think the fixture we talked about it in our preview show. We said that was probably the game that we were looking most forward to, just because based on the names, the fact about how both teams play, and all I have to say is I want my money back. I want my time back. It's a 1-1 draw. Nobody said a 1-1 draw. Who wants a 1-1 draw? But it was interesting. Gaurav, let's start from the beginning. I think what I noticed was that the pattern of the game was very similar to the Leicester game, where City dominated for the first 20-25 minutes, all over. Leeds got a goal, early goal, looked in control, and suddenly, the other team starts slowly coming back into it, and then obviously the scoreline wasn't the same. They just got one goal. Leeds just got the one goal, but is that a worrying trend? Is that related to fitness, that they're starting
Yes.
so hard and that's why they're not able to keep it up?
Yeah, you could say that. Like we didn't have any preseason friendly, so you could say that the players are not completely match fit right now. But that shouldn't be an issue, from what I think. And if you could play like 10-15 minutes at the top, high intensity, high pressing. Our pressing was really good in the first 20 minutes. I could say I was watching the intensity and pressing was really good from like after a couple of months. Like we haven't done that recently. And to completely drop off after 20 minutes and then struggling to even keep hold of the ball. Our possession was lesser than that of Leeds after the first half. I actually checked the stats and I saw that we only had 47% possession, and our passes were even less than Leeds. So that's what you do not see from a Guardiola team. So yeah, that is an issue, and
Yeah.
same old story. Like start really well, get a goal, and then drop off. Let the opposition score from an individual mistake,
Yeah.
and like Wendy and Walker had like moments where he had Walker out a free header, and then Wendy as well gave away the ball in the box, and then the Ederson incident. Like everyone saw what happened.
Yeah, I will come to the goals there. But Kevin, what we're touching on was very actually important because you expect City sometimes to be, you expect them to be physically outmatched, based on the players that they're playing. You expect them sometimes to be defensively outmatched because that's the style that they play. But you generally don't expect them to be outworked. And I thought, as I was watching the match, I was seeing, for at least from the 25th minute to about the 75th minute, Leeds were genuinely outworking City. Is that a concern for Pep as well? Because if his team is now being outworked, that is a fitness issue or a mental issue. But it looked like Leeds were like running for the ball. They were trying to get everything. Is that something that he needs to address quickly?
Yeah, I think Pep should address that definitely. But the thing is that I didn't see that match today. But considering it was Leeds, Leeds has been very good in this season, and I mean, but still, if you're contending for like the top spot, uh, obviously you should outwork everyone, like all the teams.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I think that
it is a
yeah.
Bielsa team, so we expect them to be intense, but still, you would expect Pep to at least try and match them rather than be completely
Sure.
physically
Yeah.
outworked
Definitely.
as they were. Let's talk about the first goal, Gaurav. Let's talk about Sterling's goal. I think it was brilliant. It was a nice little piece of skill where he went past two players and then just
Yeah,
passed it. Talk us through that goal. What did you think?
I think it was all Sterling. He came in from the left and like those two tackles and buried in the right corner. So it was all on him, but don't really have much to say anything more than that.
What was your thought process as you, because Sterling has a habit of missing such goals, these easy
Yeah, he
ones.
does.
Actually, he has
Actually,
a
I was
habit of getting
surprised
the.
to see him start on the left and Mahrez through the middle. Actually, when I saw the lineup, I thought it would be Sterling to the middle and Torres on the left and Mahrez on the right, but that didn't happen. So his best position, I still think, is on the left wing, where he likes to cut inside and you know what he does, what he did today. So yeah, it was good to see him score at least his first goal in the Premier League this season. But apart from that, he missed a chance as well later on, where he was through on goal. So wasn't really impressed by him apart from that goal.
Yeah, that's an issue with Sterling, isn't it? He'll get the difficult ones he'll put in, but then the easy ones he somehow. There was a one-on-one in the second half where he was
Yeah.
through on goal, and then just for some reason he tried to be too clever, and it's an issue, isn't it, with Sterling, where he'll get the hard ones, but then miss the easy ones.
Yeah, like Pep has said this in an interview actually. Like when he's through on goal, he gets a little too confused to what to do actually. Like should he take it toward the goalkeeper or should he place it? He gets really messed up and misses the chances mostly. But the difficult chances, he knows that he have to dodge the tackle and put it in the corner. He does it really well.
Yeah, and maybe that's just instinct, like lacking. Like he's more instinctive as a player, whereas when you have time to think, it's a bit like Rashford, right? Like where you have time to think, then you kind of mess it up. Whereas if
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
instinctive, then
exactly.
you know what you want to do. Let's talk about the Leeds goal, Gaurav. And it is. I mean, it's Kepa level, isn't it? A little bit like when you think about it. It was a simple. He comes out, tries to punch it. He punches it straight onto Mendy. I think it was Mendy that he
Yeah,
punched
it
it
was
straight
Mendy. Yes,
onto,
yeah.
and it's a tap in. I mean it's these errors are becoming more and more frequent with Ederson, aren't they? A little bit. He was at fault, I think, even in the last game. There was, I think, I can't remember. I think it was in the last game though that he had an error, a small part to play in the goal as well.
I don't remember him doing something like this in the last game, but all his errors in the past have been actually related to him coming out of the box, to gather the ball, or like he likes to play that sweeper keeper role. But he's really good in punching the ball, and I personally think he could have caught that ball instead of punching it. Like it was there to be caught. And to be honest with you, like this is one game where he made the mistake. But if I had to give man of the match to someone, I would give him to that awards to him as well. Like he made 4 like really good saves as well. So yeah, like same old City. Individual mistakes costing us at the end.
Yeah. It is becoming a pattern there, and it's a little bit worrying that
Yeah,
because I don't think Leeds created much in the game. They
no,
did
no, no.
work hard. I can't remember any clear cut chances that they created aside from that one. And
Yeah,
actually, I don't remember any clear cut City chances until the 75th minute as well. Until Fernandinho, I think, came on, and then they started to turn that game around. In the last 10-15 minutes, they had a few chances. Kevin, is it the lack of chances? Should that be a worry for Pep that they're not creating enough chances, because they didn't create enough against Leicester as well? So is it going to start? Because it's one thing to not to create chances and be unlucky and not score, but not creating chances is an issue, isn't it? Something
Yeah,
is there a
surely.
Pep talk needed?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because when I see the stats, they are like just got 2 shots on target for
Hmm.
City, and they have like Leeds have 7 shots on target. It's like way too much
Yeah.
for Leeds. I mean, against a City team.
Yeah.
So I think that they should work hard defensively as well as offensively, and lack of chances is definitely a worry for Pep.
Yeah, yeah, because that's something to think about. The final question I think on this, Gaurav, we touched on the preseason issue. Do you think there's the lack of preseason is now? We talked about this before the episode started, but the lack of preseason I think is a concern, isn't it? At this point, it's
yes, yes,
starting to
it
be a
is an
concern.
issue. Actually, they had an incident like Pep returned back from Spain 10 days before the season started, and he had to stay in quarantine for 5 days. So actually, he started taking training sessions 4 or 5 days or from our first match against Wolves. And like I'd like to add one point.
Hmm.
Currently, I think the players don't know whether Pep is going to stay beyond the season. He has 8 months remaining on his contract, and they're not giving it all. Like you can see it on the pitch. You can see like they weren't even fighting for the ball after 70, 75 minutes, like before Fernandinho came on. And
Hmm.
yeah, you could say the preseason could also be an issue, but I think this is an issue as well. Like management should make it clear whether Pep is going to stay. He's going to sign a contract. He recently said it in an interview that he's open to stay for like a year or two at City.
Would you
But
want him to though? Would you want him to stay at City? Assuming what happened, let's say they don't win the title this season. Let's say they don't win the Champions League this season. It's a big if. Let's say they don't. Would you want to keep him at City though, or would you say, well, it's time to try something else?
nah, I would still keep him. Like, who would you get? If not Pep, maybe Pochettino. But he doesn't even have a like really good record, right? So maybe if he signed a 2-year deal, then the players know like he's going to stay for a couple of years. They start giving their 100%, and the results could start to change.
Mm.
But at the moment, I think the management has to make them clear like he's going to either stay or he's going to leave. The players should know, not the fans. That the players should know.
Just in the interest of fairness, Kevin, what do you think? The same question. I posed the same question to you. Would you keep Pep if you didn't win the Premier League or the Champions League this season? Would you stick with Pep at City?
Pep, considering his reputation, I would still keep for at least one more season, just for the sake of his reputation.
Yeah, but because keep in mind he has never stayed 5 years at a club, and now he's going to want to stay a 6th and 7th year. So that's uncharted territory even for him. So yeah, I mean I understand definitely it's Pep Guardiola. You probably wouldn't want to let him go even if he's not achieving those standards that he has set. But that is something to consider as well. Does he want to? Does the club want to stick? But anyway, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, I think even if he decides to leave, I think he will take a sabbatical again.
Yeah, I mean,
won't coach any team for a couple of years.
Yeah, because Juventus has got a new manager, so that's the next club that he has.
He must be so tired of City anyway, so he needs a sabbatical.
Well, yeah, because the only other club, well, it's either Juventus or PSG, right? He has to go to a club that spends money. So those two. The Juventus have already signed a new manager, so they're not going to switch maybe. And they still have Ronaldo, so those two cannot work together. So they'll have to wait till Ronaldo leaves. I don't know.
Or Chelsea, maybe Chelsea.
I don't think he's
they have money.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to manage in the Premier League again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go back. I think he's a one league thing. But Gaurav, it's a hard thing. But you said Edison is your man of the match for City.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
If not for him, we would have conceded at least 3 goals.
Okay, that's very brave. But all right, we respect that. All right, I think that's all we have for today. We've got a couple of big matches coming tomorrow. We've got Manchester United against Tottenham. That's a whole other story that's going on. The match is like it's like a sideshow to what's actually happening right now. There are lots of rumors going around, and we've also got Liverpool against Aston Villa, and I think that I think will be a big game. Gaurav, very quickly, if Liverpool beat Aston Villa, and that's pretty much certainty, would you start to worry about City's title chances?
Yes, I will. Like I'm started worrying right now, and like, you can't drop 4 points in 3 games and consider yourself to be challenging
Five, right?
for the
It's
title.
5 points. They top 5.
Yeah, it's, uh,
Because they only
yes,
get 1
5
point.
points. Yeah, we have
5
5
points.
points
Yeah, it's
exactly.
math, yeah, it's.
I don't think so. They will be challenging for the title. City that is.
It's looking difficult, but we'll see. Stranger things have happened. There's COVID. I think if nothing else, COVID is trying to destroy Liverpool's chances. Mane,
Yeah.
we shouldn't laugh
Mane
about
is
it.
out for
Mane
the.
and Thiago have been affected sadly. So that let's hope for a speedy recovery for them. But we shall see what happens there. But thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much, Gaurav, for joining me today for this reaction show. Really appreciate it. Appreciate your time. I hope you had fun. I enjoyed the insight from you guys. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having us here.
Thanks for having us.
Right.
Yes.
Bye.
So if you
Hope you
guys
guys
enjoyed that,
lose tomorrow.
yes. Well, if you enjoyed that show, please remember to like the video and also share it with your friends, family, everyone else. If you can find a few City fans to share it with, please do. No,
Yeah, well.
it's going to end on the same joke that we started with. But also remember to subscribe if you're new. We just one subscriber short of 90. That was kind of our goal for the weekend. So help us get that. Let's see who's going to be the 90th subscriber to this video. So please remember to do that and help us reach that goal. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow with the match reactions for the Manchester United Tottenham game and the Liverpool game. So stay tuned for that one. Have a good evening, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening to that episode of Late Night Football. We need your help to grow this channel, so if you've been enjoying the show thus far, please do like and subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends, family, colleagues, neighbors, drinking buddies, fellow football fans, and anybody else you know or don't know. We'd really appreciate it. Please also follow us on Twitter and Facebook via the links in the description below and spread the word about us. Take care.